Chapter 361, 1 verses 7. The battle carried on like wildfire. Little Beast King, is this terrifying? We have so many people on our side but still can't catch him. Tai Mu looked at the battle while healing Tai Xianxia, his expressions fluctuating endlessly. His strength has improved by leaps and bounds, reaching this formidable stage now. Tai Daoist Gu looked at the battle in front, sensing he was already unable to interfere. No wonder he arrogantly blocked us, such battle prowess, but even if he is more ferocious, what can he do? 2 fists cannot rival 4 hands, the battle has reached this stage and we still have 7 people. This is the cooperative strength of a group. Fang Zheng, this battle is your loss, no doubt. Tai Ruanan observed the battle situation from a tall boulder. In her sight, Tai Ba Xiu and 5 others surrounded Fang Yuan as a circle. And surrounding this was a large numbers of green rattan shell grass soldiers that had formed into a tight net. At the same time, some rattan shell grass soldiers were combining with each other to form rank for grass sword elite soldiers. The outcome is a foregone conclusion. Little Beast King, look at your surroundings. You are already heavily encircled, do you still want to persist obstinately? Let yourself be captured and maybe you can still have a way out. Tai Xianxia stood up and attempted to shake Fang Yuan's fighting spirit. The injuries on her were already healed by Tai Mu and she now had the strength to fight again. Fang Zheng, it is impossible for you to escape even if you grow wings. 1. This is the price for overestimating yourself. Tai Mu added in from beside Tai Xianxia. Impossible to escape. Fang Yuan suddenly exerted strength and forced back Tai Ba Xiu. A mocking smile appeared on his face. Is it true that I can't escape even if I grow wings? I'll give it a try. Whoosh! There was a sharp pain as a pair of pitch-black bone wings with metallic luster stretched out fully from Fang Yuan's back. This is... He really has. What? In front of Tai clan group's amazed gazes, Fang Yuan flapped the wings and softly lifted off from the ground and continued to rise higher, flying into the air. Tai Mu could never have expected his words to turn out to be a prophecy, and was baffled. The intel did not say Little Beast King had a flying type Gu, this is clearly a rank 4 flying type Gu, how did he get it? Tai Xianxia stared with her eyes wide open in bewilderment. Flying type Gu were a type of movement Gu worms, they were rather expensive and also very rare, thus only few Gu masters possessed them. Fang Zheng can fly. No wonder he arrogantly intercepted us. Tai Daoist Gu immediately realized. Tai Ruanan's expression also turned unsightly. Her rattan shell grass soldiers had no use against air targets. The moment Fang Yuan flew, an enormous hole immediately appeared in her painstakingly created layers of encirclement. What are you all panicking for? Right at this moment, Tai Ba Xiu's loud shout echoed in everyone's ears. This rank 4 upper stage strength path cultivator was a cornerstone of the Tai clan, and right now his eyes were bursting with bright light. His plentiful experiences allowed him to find out a weakness in Fang Yuan. How can flying type Gu be easy to control? By nature, humans walk on the ground, if they want to fly and soar freely, they need a lot of painstaking practice. And to battle while flying? It needs even more bitter training. Even Verdant Great Sun, son of the great Renzu, died while flying. How much time could it have been since this Little Beast King obtained his flying type Gu? Tai Ba Xiu words forced the Tai clan group to wake up and their spirits rose up again. That's right, the intel did not mention Fang Zheng having any flying type Gu. He definitely obtained the bone wings very recently. Flying needs a huge amount of practice, it is not something that can be picked up and used immediately. Little Beast King is too naive. The main thing is we are really fortunate to have Senior Tai Ba Xiu by our side. Tai Clan's group regained their fighting spirit. My long-distance methods are lacking, you guys attack and take him down. Fang Zheng, you made an extremely stupid move. If you had continued to battle steadily, you could have still lasted for some time, but now you have trapped yourself. Tai Ba Xiu shouted loudly. Eh? You think so? Fang Yuan smiled indifferently, a look of pity in his eyes. Little Beast King, you won't be proud for long. Golden Needle Mosquito, huh? Tai Ao Kai wanted to attack when suddenly his expression turned stiff. In the battle just before, his Golden Needle Mosquito Gu were already exhausted. It was all because he saw Fang Yuan not defending against the Golden Needle Mosquito's attack, thus using it readily. The battle was also very intense, which made him forget the intense expenditure of the Golden Needle Mosquitoes. Not good, my Star Arrow Gu has already been destroyed by Little Beast King. Damn it, I only have 2 Flower Rain Gu remaining. A similar situation played out on, more or less, everybody. Tai Ba Xiu's heart sank. It turned out Little Beast King had already been ready and had all along been hiding his schemes deep within his heart. It's okay, I have Blade Chi Gu and can do long-distance fight. Tai Dao Ku stood up. I have Snowball Gu with me and can make Little Beast King suffer some consequences. Another Tai Clan Gu master also stood up. Many hands provide great strength. There were 7 people in this Tai Clan group and thus they had plentiful methods. Even if Fang Yuan had aimed at this, he was not able to wipe out all their methods. Little Beast King, get down here. Tai Dao Ku sent out a ray of Blade Chi. The Blade Chi whistled towards Fang Yuan, but Fang Yuan evaded it with a light flap of his wings. 3 snowballs moved in to block Fang Yuan's retreating path. Fang Yuan folded up his left wing and made an agile whirling movement, safely passing through the gaps between the snowballs. Tai Ba Xiu's heart thumped at this scene and a bad feeling rose up. He evaded them so effortlessly, was that luck? Soon, the Tai Clan group felt stunned and helpless as Fang Yuan agilely and confidently evaded countless attacks. He has such a good control over flying type Gu. Damn it, our attack simply can't hit him. My primeval essence is already running dry, Blade Chi Gu's consumption is huge. It seems we can only let Fang Zheng escape this time. The Tai Clan group's attacks gradually became sparse. Little Beast King, I can't help but admire you, you are indeed a great talent. Today, we made it easy for you to retreat, that is also because of your talent. But watch out for the next time we meet. Tai Ruanan warned in a heavy voice. Fang Yuan seemed to have heard the most ridiculous joke in the world and started laughing loudly. What are you laughing at? The ominous feeling in Tai Ba Xiu's heart became even more intense. Ha ha ha, of course I am laughing at your naivety. Why would I run? The real battle has only begun. After saying this, Fang Yuan activated all-out effort Gu and strength Chi Gu at the same time. Green Bull, Horse, Stone Turtle, White Elephant and Black Python, 5 beast phantoms turned solid and slammed down. Bam! 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 In an instant, the battlefield shook, stones crumbled and dust flew everywhere. Rattan shell grass soldiers were sent flying or destroyed and the Tai Clan group retreated madly. Attack! We can't be taking hits passive, we must give him no time to take control of the battlefield. Tai Ba Xiu roared furiously and punched at Fang Yuan from afar with his bull-sized fists. A formless majestic fist energy exploded out violently and actually broke the sound of sound, creating a sonic boom. However, Fang Yuan flapped his wings and rose higher, easily dodging the attack. Tai Ba Xiu helplessly sighed. His fist energy might be a long-range attack, but the distance it could reach was short. He was a strength path Gu master. This path had always lacked in long-range attack methods. Fang Yuan could be said to be an oddity because his strength Qi Gu originated from the ancient Qi path. Upon Tai Ba Xiu's reminder, other Tai clan Gu masters warded off the beast phantoms and started making aerial attacks. However, Fang Yuan displayed unmatchable flying ability. Occasionally, he was like a butterfly, dancing between the attacks and agilely evading them. Occasionally, he was like a goshawk flying towards the sky, forcing people to watch helplessly. Occasionally, he would make arcs with his bone wings like a swift. And occasionally, he would hover and wait for an opportunity before moving, like a dragonfly. Most of the attacks were dodged by him. And a few attacks that managed to strike his body were resisted by the defensive light of Golden Shield Gu. This is impossible. How could his flying capability be so superb? This level of control isn't inferior to Lan Mei He, Hong Fei Yu or Fei Yu Wang. Lan Mei He, Hong Fei Yu and Fei Yu Wang were experts in flying and were already famed throughout southern border. The Tai clan group were stunned and horrified. Fang Yuan constantly activated Gu worms to attack to his heart's content. The earlier battle was only setting up this current situation. Tai Ruanan's expression was ashen. She had painstakingly created so many rattan shell grass soldiers, but they could only passively take hits now. Moreover, it had wasted a lot of her primeval essence. Die. Fang Yuan hovered for a long while before he suddenly saw an opportunity and pounced down. Tai Mu, careful. Dodge quickly. Tai Mu heard the others' fearful shouts and looked up in a flurry. The dazzling sunlight pierced his eyes first of all. Then he saw a black figure pouncing down like a goshawk. The intense whistling sounds immediately filled his ears. An enormous feeling of crisis filled his heart. Not good, run. This thought had just emerged in his mind when Fang Yuan's hands grabbed his shoulders. Beast Phantom retract. Fang Yuan's strength gushed up and he pulled apart his arms, ruthlessly ripping apart the arms. Blood spurted out like a waterfall and Tai Mu's two limbs were torn apart from the shoulders. A violent pain drowned Tai Mu's mind and he roared furiously, his handsome face twisted into something terrifying. Bam! Fang Yuan again exerted strength and smacked his hands. Tai Mu's head was forcibly burst open like a watermelon. In an instant, blood and brain matter sprayed on Fang Yuan's body, face and hair. It was either the gray brain matter or red blood, even the eyeballs stuck on Fang Yuan's clothes. The dense bloody stench assaulted the nose. If it were any other person, they might have vomited on the spot, but Fang Yuan smelled it like it was the world's most fragrant smell. He was enjoying this and there was even a very intense excitement in the depths of his heart. Death, such a sweet fragrance. Kill, kill. Let the flower of life bloom brightly in the blood. He threw his head back and roared, actually improvising a poem. Tai Mu. Seeing Tai Mu's death, the Tai clan group looked with furious eyes, the fire of their fury seemingly able to burn the sky and ocean. Chapter 362, 1 verses 7. You killed Tai Mu, I want you dead. Tai Xianxia raised the umbrella Daoist Gu, shouting as she pounced. Fang Yuan smiled lightly. After waiting for Tai Xianxia to get close, he turned his body quickly, and opened his wings, as he moved elegantly and brushed past Tai Xianxia. Tai Xianxia charged for 5 to 6 steps before stopping. Her beautiful face was in a daze. The umbrella Daoist Gu fell on the ground, as a trace of blood slowly showed on her neck, before blood poured out of her like a fountain, sending her head flying as she was beheaded. Xianxia. Tai clan's group shouted pitifully, but it could not bring her back to life. Tai Ba Xiu quickly came over. Fong Yuan laughed heartily, spreading his wings and flying into the sky. Tai Ba Xiu was obstructed by the rattan shell grass soldiers. Although he created a path for himself to charge out, how could he match Fong Yuan's speed? Fong Yuan flew in the sky. After some indiscriminate dive bombs, he flew towards Tai Ruanan. Oh no, his target is young master. Tai Dao Ku quickly reinforced her. Fong Yuan suddenly changed directions, landing quickly in front of Tai Dao Ku. Die! Fong Yuan had a cold expression, exchanging blows with Tai Dao Ku, not dodging or evading at all, showing his fierce nature. Tai Dao Ku was also a man with great courage, facing Fong Yuan head-on. Swift Shadow Gu. Hand Blade Gu. Iron Hand Gu. Consecutive Slash Gu. Quick Battle Gale. Blade Chi Gu. He was an attack-type Gu master in the first place. As he attacked with all his strength, his arms moved like wind as blade shadows flashed quickly. Fong Yuan activated the Golden Shield Gu, but it broke quickly under his barrage. Even with Bronze Skin's defense, Fong Yuan's skin was torn open as blood and flesh flew out. Just like this, hold on. The others quickly changed their directions, going to assist him. Oh no, my primeval essence is used up. Suddenly, Tai Dao Ku's attack stopped. He was a rank 3 Gu master, and had been battling intensely. Now, after a flurry of attacks, his primeval essence dried up. Without primeval essence, Tai Dao Ku turned from a tiger to a sick cat. Fong Yuan smiled, grabbing his neck and twisted. Crack! Tai Dao Ku's neck was easily broken by Fong Yuan. A blade expert, Tai Ruanan's capable general, brave and courageous, lost his life here. No. Tai Ruanan saw this and her eyes turned red with sadness and anger, as the flames of anger was ignited in her, attempting to burn her into ashes. Rattan shell grass soldiers, under her command, gathered into a green tidal wave, moving and attempting to engulf Fong Yuan. Thousands of grass soldier puppets, having strength in numbers, they were already a threat to Fong Yuan. Tai Ruanan's eyes, nose, and mouth was bleeding. Such intensive manipulation of her Gu caused great strain on her mind, and it started affecting her body. Ruanan, don't be rash. Do not get engulfed by your own anger. Tai Ba Xiu saw this and reminded. But Tai Ruanan had lost her reasoning. She had watched her friends die in front of her. This was a huge stimulation to her. It even brought back the pain from back when her father died. She is still too young. Fong Yuan sneered, flapping his wings and flying up. The imposing rattan shell grass soldiers missed their target, as they collapsed together, squeezing into a lump. Not only was their formation a mess, it even caused Tai Ba Xiu and others to have no space to move. This is the weakness of a team. Once the cooperation breaks down, you yourself will be the biggest burden to them. Such specific allocation of duty also caused the members to be overly reliant on others. Relying on yourself instead of others, that is the truth of the world. Fong Yuan flew high in the sky, looking at the battlefield emotionlessly, as he moved his gaze towards Tai Ao Kai. Tai Ao Kai was an investigative Gu master. Since the start of the battle, he had been moving around the outskirts. His speed was fast, he could easily run away and seek reinforcements. He was very crucial to Fong Yuan's plans to eliminate them all. He had to die at all costs. Seeing Fong Yuan fly towards him, Tai Ao Kai's face was aghast. Fong Yuan was bathed in blood. His black hair, eyes, and wings made him look like a demonic god incarnate. Ruthless and courageous, but also cruel and devious. Tai Mu, Tai Xianxia, and Tai Dao Ku had all died in his hands. Even Tai Ba Xiu could do nothing to him. Facing such a strong foe, how could he be Fong Yuan's match? The swarm of rat and shell grass soldier army was once Taio Kai's reassurance, but now it was a cold mockery towards him. Escape, I have to escape to San Cha Mountain and report to the 4 elders of Tai clan. Taio Kai was scared, giving himself a reason to retreat as he immediately left the battlefield, running rapidly. Don't run, come back now. Tai Ba Xiu's gaze was on Taio Kai as he ran into the forest, shouting loudly. If Taio Kai stayed behind and was united with them, he might have a chance of survival. But he ran away alone, having little primeval essence and low cultivation. How could he be faster than Fang Yuan by running with his 2 legs, restricted by the terrain? As expected, in a moment, Fang Yuan carried his head and flew back. Ah! Guyu Fang Zheng. Guyu Fang Zheng. You are dead meat. You killed my Tai clansman, you heinous being, there is no salvation for you. Don't run if you have guts, what kind of man are you to run away from me? You have no balls, you coward, come fight with me, I will tear you to shreds, and grind your bones into ashes. Tai Ba Xiu was extremely furious, giving off a thunderous scream. Fang Yuan chuckled, not falling for the taunt, heinous. Heh, I've killed so many people in the past, why didn't you call me heinous back then? Because I killed a Tai clansman, that makes me a heinous villain? Hee, if that is so, then I love such a sin, let me kill a few more and add a few more sins to my name. Saying so, Fang Yuan spread his wings and continued to dive bomb, killing the rest of the Tai clan Gu masters. Tai Ba Xiu watched with bloodshot eyes, almost vomiting blood out of anger. But he was trapped by the rat and shell grass soldiers, and his speed was no match for Fang Yuan, watching all these outstanding Tai clan youngsters slaughtered in front of him, losing their lives. Very quickly, in the battlefield, only Tai Ruanan and Tai Ba Xiu were left. Die, I want you dead. Tai Ruanan's eyes were bloodshot as she gritted her teeth, chanting. She had activated the rat and shell grass soldiers to her limit, her body oozing with blood, combined with her crazed expression, it gave people chills. Ruanan, calm down now. Tai Ba Xiu rushed to her side, shaking her shoulders. But Tai Ruanan had no reaction towards it, staring at Fang Yuan with deep hatred. Below Fang Yuan, the rat and shell grass soldiers had gathered together, tightly like a lump. But they could not hit Fang Yuan, thus acting like lost flies. Tai Ba Xiu sighed helplessly, he had great experience, he knew that this battle was extremely impactful to Tai Ruanan, causing her mental state to break down, filled by hatred and fury, she was almost taken over by her anger, and could provide no assistance in the short run. Fang Yuan flapped his wings from time to time, causing his body to remain in the air. Tai clan only had 2 people left, but Fang Yuan stopped his attacks. That is because, among these 2, Tai Ruanan was like a crazy bee *tch, while Tai Ba Xiu had great battle strength, he was a tough opponent. If Fang Yuan got distracted, he would receive great injuries from him. Looking at Tai Ruanan, Fang Yuan's gaze shone with consideration. Tai Ruanan has already lost her reasoning in this state. Why don't I keep these rat and shell grass soldiers here to erode her remaining mental energy? After her mind breaks down, I will take her life. No, there is a better way. She is the Tai clan young master, Tai Ba Xiu has to protect her. I should use this Tai Ruanan to indirectly attack Tai Ba Xiu. If I can kill him, that would be the best. Tai Ba Xiu was an established expert, rank 4 upper stage cultivation, and due to the Earth Overlord Gu, his battle strength surpassed normal rank 4 peak stage Gu masters. He could be said to be Fang Yuan's most powerful foe after leaving Qing Mao Mountain. Facing such attacks, even if Fang Yuan used all his strength, he could not win. His only weakness was a lack of long-range attacks, but that was not a fatal flaw. But, battles change due to circumstances. Even if Tai Ba Xiu had no flaws, right now, he had someone he had to protect right beside him. Unknowingly, Tai Ruanan had become the hostage that Fang Yuan was using to threaten him. If I can kill Tai Ba Xiu, even Yi Huo would have to feel threatened by me. But, I have to observe the situation, we cannot drag this. Although these 7 Tai clansmen chose a hidden route here, the 4 Tai clan old-timers might come to reinforce them. Fang Yuan thought in his heart, reminding himself. He had a careful, vigilant, calm, and rational nature. He did not panic in dangerous situations, while not arrogant when he had advantages. The 4 old-timers of Tai clan had a combination killer move, called Limitless Search and Lock. If they plant the Lock Gu on the Gu master, no matter where he goes, they can find him. It is the #1 capturing method. In his previous life, even Kong Ri Tian was a victim to this killer move, causing the downfall of a demonic expert. Although Fang Yuan had the bone wings Gu, and could fly anywhere he wanted, free and unrestrained while having the capabilities to attack or escape, all according to his will. But once he was planted with the Lock Gu, no matter where he flew to, above the heavens or above the sea, he would be captured. There is always someone who can bring you down. Balance exists in everything. Although the bone wings Gu was good, it was restricted by other methods. The only reason why this battle was so successful was because Fang Yuan had his previous life's memories, and knew everything about these 7 from Tai clan. Secondly, he had destroyed and expended their long-range methods from the battle before. His thoughts only lasted a second in real time. After deciding, Fang Yuan took out his primeval stone to recover his primeval essence. The aperture's primeval sea level started rising again. At the same time, he inspected his own body, using the self-reliance Gu to heal some critical injuries. Damn it! Seeing this, Tai Ba Xiu's heart was heavy, like a mountain rock was weighing on it. If Little Beast King continued to attack, he would be happy instead, but right now Fang Yuan took his time to rest, not indulging in the pleasure of having the upper hand, instead stopping his attacks to recover his primeval essence and heal his injuries. This Little Beast King, he is so young, how can he be so scheming and calm? Chapter 363, 1 verses 7. Fang Yuan's composure made Tai Ba Xiu shocked and cold. When the battle started, Tai Ba Xiu had absolutely not expected he would be in such a situation and at a disadvantage. But now, this established expert, a cornerstone of Tai clan, had no choice but to admit he was in a dangerous situation. The culprit that led to this situation was this young man in front of him. He fought against 7 people by himself and forced them to reach this stage. How in the world did he accomplish this? From the moment Little Beast King appeared, his actions and words were all unfathomable and unpredictable traps, luring the 7 of us right into it. Even more unexpectedly, he holds a flying type Gu and possesses such skilled flying techniques. With his flying ability, he has taken the initiative, able to retreat and advance as he pleases, eventually leading to this situation, a one-sided slaughter. Tai Ba Xiu felt his heart turn cold as he recalled the situation. How did Fang Yuan possess such incredible flying techniques? That question was no longer the most terrifying thing. The truly terrifying thing about this lad is his head. How could he have such a meticulous scheming ability at his age? He is simply a monster. If he used it for the righteous path, he would become the most brilliant rising star of the righteous path. Unfortunately, he chose to use his intelligence for the evil demonic path. This is a disaster to the people of the world. Tai Ba Xiu had a premonition, one day this young man in front of him would become a calamity to the whole southern border. At that time, blood would flow into a river and dye the land red, and an uncountable number of living beings would fall victim to his vicious attacks. No, my current situation is very dangerous. Tai Ruanan can't fight and my long-range attacks are inadequate. Little Beast King, however, can fly, thus attacking or retreating as he desires. Retreat, we must hurry to Xianxia Mountain and join with the 4 old-timers. Although Tai Ba Xiu had been famous for a long time, his heart was steady and was not misled by fame and profits. He could not display all his strength, but under the continuous empowerment of Earth Overlord Gu, Tyrant Strength Gu was becoming stronger and stronger, surpassing the limits of Fang Yuan. But Tai Ba Xiu was not drunken in his powers. With his experience, he could see the situation he was in. Continuing to fight only ends in disaster. The most sensible choice was to retreat. He did not care that he was forced to retreat by a junior. Even if he lost all his reputation, it was better than dying. What's more, Big Brother Xuelang, I can't let your child die in front of me. As he thought of this, Tai Ba Xiu became decisive and dragged Tai Ruanan to retreat. Running away. Fang Yuan suddenly shone with severity. He felt the situation was problematic. Retreating was truly the most sensible choice for Tai Ba Xiu. This place was near to Xianxia Mountain, and if they managed to attract the 4 old-timers of Tai clan, it would be Fang Yuan's turn to retreat. Kill. Fang Yuan naturally did not want to see such a situation happening. He pointed his hand and activated his all-out effort Gu along with Strength Chi Gu. Beast phantoms turned into solid forms and landed on the ground, blocking Tai Ba Xiu. However, Tai Ba Xiu was strong. His punches and kicks seemed to whistle like the wind and cackle like lightning, scattering these beast phantoms. Fang Yuan suddenly changed the attack target. The beast phantoms all moved towards Tai Ruanan. Despicable. Tai Ba Xiu cursed and moved to protect Tai Ruanan. Fang Yuan laughed loudly at this. If Tai Ba Xiu gave up on Tai Ruanan and escaped by himself, Fang Yuan would not be able to stop him. However, Tai Ba Xiu was protecting Tai Ruanan. This was seeking his own doom. Because he was a Gu master that specialized in offense, not defense. By protecting Tai Ruanan, he was sacrificing himself, tying his own hands and feet, fighting his enemy's specialty with his weakness. One side escaped and other pursued. The situation was in a stalemate. No matter how Tai Ba Xiu cursed and provoked, Fang Yuan only flew in the air and used beast phantoms to attack. Tai Ba Xiu could not hit Fang Yuan and thus was passively taking a beating. Moreover, there were light injuries on his body while protecting Tai Ruanan. He is only at rank 4 middle stage. Why does he have so much primeval essence? Tai Ba Xiu was starting to feel desperate. He did not know Fang Yuan not only had liquor worm, but also heavenly essence treasure lotus. In terms of primeval essence, he could completely match rank 4 upper stage. Fang Yuan attacked furiously, sending attacks without an end. If a beast phantom was destroyed, he would immediately send another. Beast phantoms attacked one after another. If one fell, another arrived. Especially, the occasional thunder boar and rock crocodile phantom which could threaten Tai Ruanan. Tai Ba Xiu was getting exhausted and was slowly unable to endure the attacks, his strength decreasing rapidly. Why hasn't the 4 old-timers arrived yet? Tai Ba Xiu kept on running and was already near Xianxia Mountain, but he still did not see any signs of the 4 old-timers. The path they chose was too hidden. And to prevent news from leaking out, they had intentionally departed 2 days earlier. These setup instead became an obstruction now for Tai Ba Xiu. Tai Ba Xiu was very passive now. The injuries on his body continuously accumulated and turned from light to heavy injuries. Beast phantoms were starting to pose more of a threat to him and it was becoming hard for him to move forward. Tai Ruanan had become the greatest burden to him. She kept on struggling and Tai Ba Xiu had no choice but to knock her unconscious and run while carrying her in his arm. We are already close to the foot of the mountain, I just need to hold on for a while. Tai Ba Xiu's body was shaking and his vision was already a scene of blurriness. Is he really going to escape? Damn it! Fong Yuan's face was gloomy as he saw this from the air. He started making more ferocious and continuous attacks, his offense surging like a tidal wave. As they were near Xianxia Mountain, Gu masters started appearing the surroundings. There is a battle going on, it is Little Beast King. Heavens, did I see wrong? The one being pursued seems to be Present Age Overlord, a cornerstone of Tai clan, Tai Ba Xiu. Little Beast King is defying heaven, he is actually chasing the rank 4 upper stage Tai Ba Xiu. The Gu masters that saw the battle were all flabbergasted and incomparably shocked. Some righteous Gu masters felt their hearts go cold when they saw Tai Ba Xiu being chased, running away like a pathetic dog who fell into the water. Big Brother Li Xian, why has Little Beast King still not appeared? We have been waiting here for such a long time, is your information reliable? From a dark corner, Hu Meier looked at the purple light barrier in front of her and yawned in boredom. In the light barrier formed by Iron Cabinet Gu, Bai Ningbing was still trapped by the 4 old-timers of Tai clan. There is no problem with my information, let's wait a bit more. Li Xian said that, but he muttered in his heart, this should not be happening, I have already told the news of Tai clan's reinforcements to him. How could he still restrain himself? Could it be, he is really going to leave Bai Ningbing in the lurch? If Little Beast King really did not appear, such heartlessness made even Li Xian terrified when he thought of it. But if he came to rescue her, both sides would suffer, and the benefits in such a chaotic battlefield would be huge. Just as the two were talking in whispers, they heard some clamor. What is going on? Hu Meier puzzledly turned her head to look, but the moment she saw the sight, her puzzled expression quickly became sluggish and after a while, it turned into shock. The person whom she had been painfully waiting for appeared and even appeared while ostentatiously flying in the air. Wait a second. The person that Little Beast King is chasing looks a bit familiar. Wah, what the F***ck, it is Tai Ba Xiu. The present age overlord from Tai clan is being chased. So Little Beast King went to intercept the reinforcement. Li Xian stared tongue-tied at this pursuit and could not help but curse. At the same time as his realization, he felt extreme shock and bewilderment. Little Beast King actually went to intercept the Tai clan reinforcement, how can he have such guts? Is he crazy? No, he is not crazy, he won the fight and is now chasing Tai Ba Xiu. Tai Ba Xiu was rank 4 upper stage but his battle prowess surpassed that level, even common rank 4 peak stage Gu masters were not his match. Even on Xianxia Mountain, among the 5 rank 4 peak stage Gu masters, only Yi Huo would be able to contend with this present age overlord. However, right now, Tai Ba Xiu was actually being chased by Little Beast King and in such a sorry state. Oh God, am I hallucinating? Someone grabbed his head and looked with an incredulous expression. This world is too crazy, it is changing so quickly. Someone muttered with a dull expression in his eyes. Fortunately, I haven't gone against Little Beast King. Li Xian felt fortunate, but immediately felt fear. No, I still need to be cautious when dealing with Fong Zheng, this guy cannot be assessed using common sense. In such a short time, he advanced to rank 4 middle stage and is also able to fly. Hu Meier kept her hand over her heart, extremely shocked at this abnormal growth speed of Fong Yuan. Demonic path scoundrel. Quick, we need to rescue them, that is Tai Ba Xiu. Tai clan's 4 old-timers also sensed the situation and immediately revoked Iron Cabinet Gu and hurried to rescue. As for the trapped by Ningbing or whatever, they stopped caring. But unfortunately, they were still late by a step. I was still a step too slow. Tai Ba Xiu felt extremely bitter, his eyes were blurry, the pain from the wounds all over his body had already made him numb, and the heavy injuries had already increased so much that he was in a near-death state now. He protected Tai Ruanan all the way and did not let even one attack reach her. Such a pity that this little beast king did not come down to fight in close combat. Otherwise, I would have killed him. Tai Ba Xiu felt very regretful. He had a trump card that he had not revealed. However, Fang Yuan acted cautiously the whole time, never flying down and only attacking from the air. Ba Xiu, hold on. We are coming to reinforce you. The 4 old-timers of Tai clan shouted together and rushed over rapidly. Ha ha ha, you were just a step away, Tai Ba Xiu, you have failed. Fang Yuan threw his head back and laughed loudly. A rock crocodile phantom fell down with an explosive sound, sending Tai Ba Xiu rolling on the ground. Tai clan's 4 old-timers were rushing over and were extremely near, but this small gap was like the distance between clouds and mud. It is over. Fang Yuan's expression was cold as he pointed and made the fatal attack. No, not yet. Iron Cabinet Gu. Tai Ba Xiu used his final remaining energy and placed his palm on Tai Ruanan's back. A square-shaped iron cabinet quickly formed and tightly sealed Tai Ruanan. Beast Phantom attacked, ripping Tai Ba Xiu into pieces, but the iron cabinet was firm as ever and Tai Ruanan who was inside was unscathed. At the crucial moment, Tai Ba Xiu gave his final chance of survival to Tai Ruanan. Ba Xiu. Tai clan's 4 old-timers howled in anger and grief. They reached the scene but were late by a step. Little Beast King, our Tai clan will not rest till you die. The 4 old-timers stared at Fang Yuan, wishing they could bite him to death. Is that so? I fought against 7 Tai clansmen this time, 6 including Tai Ba Xiu lost their lives by my hands. You 4 old-timers also want to deal with me? Then fly over and fight me. Fang Yuan laughed coldly, a dangerous look appeared in his eyes that made people avoid his gaze. Chapter 364, Soaring Reputation. Heavens, Little Beast King fought against 7, but actually won. Even, present-age overlord lost his life. The number 1 rising star, he is this generation's number 1 star of the demonic path. There was an uproar in the crowd, many discussed and whispered to each other. Tai clan's 4 old-timers released their aura and started attacking one after another. However, Fang Yuan flapped his wings and lightly evaded them, his nimbleness causing gasps of amazement in the crowd. You old-timers, I have still not settled the score with you for trapping me. Bai Ningbing slowly walked over with a grim expression. She casted a glance at Fang Yuan, her gaze hiding complex feelings. In these days when she was trapped, Fang Yuan had grown so much. Not only had his cultivation advanced to middle stage, he also held such skilled flying techniques. Looking at this control, Southern Border now had one more flying expert. How did he manage to accomplish all this? Bai Ningbing had once thought of training her flying skills. However, the matter regarding flying was too troublesome, the amount of practice needed was huge and at the same time, it was very time-consuming and needed a long period of grinding. The amount of energy spent was huge but would provide little results in a short period. Bai Ningbing thus did not do it. She had never expected Fang Yuan to be able to train his flying ability to such a level without any signs or words. This was surpassing all common sense. Could it be that he had some mystical encounter in 3 Kings' inheritance? Bai Ningbing naturally considered this point. In truth, there was no need for Fang Yuan to explain it, many people would connect his performance to 3 Kings' inheritance. With Tai clan's 4 old-timers revoking Iron Cabinet Gu, Bai Ningbing was free. Now, with the coordination of Fang and Bai, the situation had become extremely dangerous. The 4 old-timers were on their guard, tightly protecting Tai Ruanan's Iron Cabinet Gu in the center and guarding against Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing. Fong Yuan felt somewhat unresigned as he looked at the iron cabinet Gu. Tai Ba Xiu had failed at the last moment while retreating. And Fong Yuan had also failed at last step while chasing them because he was not able to claim Tai Ruanan's life. No doubt, she was a threat. But without Tai Ruanan, I could not have killed Tai Ba Xiu so easily. At this point, I can only let it go. Fong Yuan revealed increasing killing intent on outside, but his battle intent was already dispersing. He had been engaged in intense battle and the primeval essence in his aperture was already inadequate, while Tai clans for old-timers were in perfect condition. At the same time, there were too many spectators, many wolves were preying in the dark and gained some benefits. Even Li Xian had such plans, let alone others. It is time to stop. Fong Yuan heaved a sigh inwardly before shouting in a clear voice, Tai clan's 4 old-timers, my partner killed one of your clansmen and you trapped her till now. I have killed 6 of your clansmen, how long will you trap me? Tai clan's 4 old-timers' eyes twitched when they heard this clear provocation. Little Beast King, don't go too far. You killed our Tai clansman, killed Elder Ba Xiu and chased Tai clan's young master, you are already our Tai clan's sworn enemy. I hereby swear, I shall use the rest of my life and pay any price to capture you and throw you inside Demon Suppression Tower, and make sure you suffer endless torment and punishment. The head of the 4 old-timers roared in anger. Although he said so, he did not dare to act rashly. The battle prowess Little Beast King revealed greatly shocked him. And if you add Bai Ning Bing on top of that. Ha ha ha, alright. Since it is so, then I shall also view Tai clan as my sworn enemy. From now on, as long as it is a Tai clansman, I will kill 1 if I see 1 and will kill 2 if I see 2. Fong Yuan laughed wildly before flapping his wings and leaving. Under the disappointed gazes of many Gu masters that had ulterior motives, he left of his own accord. Bai Ningbing also left. The outcome of this battle spread over the whole Xianxia mountain at lightning speed. What kind of place was Xianxia mountain at present? It was a place where 3 kings' inheritance appeared, a place which was paid attention to by countless clans, righteous path members and demonic path members. Soon after that, the battle report of Fong Yuan taking on 7 Tai clansmen by himself and killing Tai Ba Xiu was spread throughout the whole southern border. Fong Yuan's reputation soared. Who was Tai Ba Xiu? He had been famous for a long time and was known as the present-age overlord. He possessed Earth Overlord Gu and had a fighting strength that surpassed normal rank 4 peak stage. He was a cornerstone of Tai clan, one of the top clans, and was an expert who could take charge of a region by himself. But he was actually chased and killed by Little Beast King Fongzheng, a junior that only had rank 4 middle stage cultivation. This Little Beast King can surpass realms to battle and kill Tai Ba Xiu. Who in the world is he? I have never heard of him before. Yan Jun asked with a frown. His subordinate quickly reported, Young master, you entered an immemorial era's phantom path inheritance and was in closed cultivation for 5 years, not knowing about Fongzheng is also normal. This person is only around 20 years old and is a genius rising star of the demonic path that only came to fame in the recent years. Little Beast King Fongzheng. The youngsters these days are really terrifying. The new waves are constantly replacing the old waves, while the old waves die by the shore. TSK. In a forest, Feng Tianyu slowly walked forward while thinking of the news he had just received. Mixed within his sighs was a trace of fiery passion. I heard the reason Little Beast King could grasp flying methods and grow up so quick was because he received some benefits from 3 kings' inheritance. 3 kings' inheritance. Feng Tianyu thought of this and felt a desire to immediately rush towards Xianxia mountain. He was a famous refinement path Gu master in southern border. King Xian inheritance perfectly matched him. Fang Zheng actually fought against 7 and killed 6 Tai clansmen including Tai Ba. As one of the 5 great experts of Shang clan, the moment elder Yi Hua came out from inheritance, he received this incredulous news. Tai Ba's fighting strength was equal to his. Fang Yuan was able to kill Tai Ba. Does that mean Fang Yuan could similarly kill him? How could this be? But the cold hard truth overruled all doubts and claims. After Yi Hua found out even more details, he slowly came to an understanding, so he has learnt flying and can use it in battle. No wonder he was able to fight against 7 and kill Tai Ba. To Gu masters, grasping flying methods and being able to use them in battle meant their fighting strength would soar qualitatively. Humans were creatures that walked on ground and did not have wings. Even Ren Zhu did not have ability to fly. Being able to fly by itself was a miracle in defiance of heaven. If one could fly, then the encirclement tactics on the ground would possess almost no threat. The wide sky would become the stage that allowed the flying Gu masters to travel freely. They could attack and defend, advance and retreat, firmly grasping control of the battle. There were famous flying Gu masters in southern border, Fei Yu Wang, Lan Mei He and Hong Fei Yu. They were feared by people, battling with them was extremely troublesome and no one wished to make an enemy out of them. Yi Hua had deep impression of flying Gu masters. Because there was a perfect example near him, that was Wei Yang. Wei Yang was called light swordsman, he could evade as fast as light and quick as lightning. He was also a flying Gu master. His aptitude was inadequate and only had rank 3 peak stage cultivation, but he was able to become a major figure of Shang clan, one of the 5 experts and was equally famous as Yi Hua, a rank 4 peak stage Gu master. Once, Yi Hua had felt it was a disgrace to be listed together with Wei Yang in the 5 experts, thus he challenged him to a fight. The result was depressing for him. Wei Yang moved around the battlefield unobstructed, and he could simply do nothing to him. If we only look at flying speed, Wei Yang can be said to be the number 1 in southern border, Little Beast King cannot compare to him. Recently with clan leaders' help, Wei Yang has advanced to rank 4. Yi Hua felt the pressure in his mind increasing by a layer as he thought of this. The 5 great experts of Shang clan were not a united group, they each had their respective factions and were always contending against each other. Yi Hua accepted the command to come to San Cha Mountain in order to establish great merits and become a clansman of Shang clan, obtaining the resources within Shang clan's living treasure door and advance one step to become a rank 5 Gu master. Fang Yuan's battle strength increased greatly with the ability to fly while that Tai Ba is weak at long-range battle and was also concerned about Tai Roanan, thus being killed by Little Beast King. If we talk of true battle prowess, Tai Ba surpasses Little Beast King. It is a pity I cannot recruit Little Beast King anymore. Yi Hua felt extremely regretful when he understood this. The battle prowess Fang Yuan displayed might not equal his, but with flying methods, Yi Hua also could not do anything to him. Forcing Little Beast King simply would not work. Instead, it would ruin his reputation since Fang Yuan was Shang clan's Purple Thorn esteemed guest. Besides this, there was also another reason, Tai clan. Little Beast King had now seriously offended Tai clan. The losses to Tai clan were huge and they would certainly deal with Little Beast King, there was no room for compromising. Moreover, Fang Yuan proclaimed in an extremely arrogant tone in front of everyone that he would kill Tai clansmen if he saw them. If Yi Hua really recruited Little Beast King, it would be equal to offending Tai clan. Tai clan was also a top clan like Shang clan, a major party of the righteous path. At that time, Yi Hua would have to endure pressure from both Tai clan and Shang clan's higher-ups. Little Beast King definitely grasped some secrets of the 3 kings' inheritance. Otherwise, how could he suddenly gain such profound flying techniques? Li Xian was sitting on his seat, his eyes narrowed to a slit, sharp light flickering endlessly inside them. He had all the details regarding Fang Yuan. However, Fang Yuan suddenly grasping flying methods was simply inconceivable and broke all common sense. Even if he bitterly trained in Shang Clan City, it is not possible that there were not even a single trace of information about it. Also, he was only there for a few years, how could he have such a powerful flying tool? Could it be? Hu Mei Er also pondered from the side. Three Kings' Inheritance. A ray of divine light seemed to pass through his mind and caused Li Xian to blurt out. In a split second. The matter about Little Beast King earning huge profits at Shang Clan City by relying on information about Three Kings' Inheritance. The matter of him intentionally delaying the rescue of Bai Ningbing and entering Three Kings' Inheritance. And also all of the battle gains he brought out from the inheritance each time. All these events converged in Li Xian's mind and formed a clear clue. Little Beast King definitely held some secrets about the Three Kings' Inheritance. The time flow inside Three Kings' Inheritance was different from the outside world, it was a Gu immortal blessed land. The reason he could grasp flying methods was definitely due to Three Kings' Inheritance. That must be it, Fang Zheng holds the secrets of Three Kings' Inheritance. Hu Mei Er also came to a realization. Her thought of charming Fang Yuan and making him become her sexual slave suddenly became even more appealing. Fang Yuan had his previous life memories and naturally grasped the secrets of Three Kings' Inheritance. In this secret discussion, Li Xian and Hu Mei Er had accidentally speculated the truth. The problem is, since we know this, how do we obtain even more benefits? Little Beast King has already grown and even Tai Ba Xiu fell by his hands, he is not someone we can go against. Li Xian clicked his tongue as his thoughts moved rapidly. We cannot, but it doesn't mean others cannot. Humans can be instigated, he. Hu Mei Er laughed coquettishly. Are you saying we should leak this information? Li Xian slightly pondered over it before suddenly slapping his thigh. Excellent plan, it is an excellent plan. Chapter 365, Hu Immortal Blessed Land opens. Back at Shangliang Mountain, Fang Yuan could only be said to have made small name for himself. But after the battle with Tai Ba Xiu, his name spread throughout the southern border and truly rose up to fame, becoming a famous demonic path genius. This news attracted attention from countless people. Some were experts who had been in closed cultivation for many years, while some were Gu masters who were roaming the world. He faced both righteous paths' attention and demonic paths' coveting. Fang Yuan had truly charged into their sights. Some people chose to retreat temporarily like Century Boy. Some like Li Xian and Hu Mei Er were adding fuel to the fire. And some people's battle intent were stimulated and they directly expressed their intent to challenge. At once, the winds rose and the clouds began to gather, countless waves moved towards Fang Yuan. Sancha Mountain. In a certain cave. Fang and Bai were sitting cross-legged. Fang Yuan's palms were placed on Bai Ningbing's back as he transferred his primeval essence. In Bai Ningbing's aperture, essence gold primeval essence fell down into her primeval sea like a waterfall, causing many waves. The waves surged continuously in the primeval sea and constantly cleansed the aperture walls. Fang Yuan was rank 4 middle stage and possessed bright golden primeval essence. But with 9 eyes liquor worm, his primeval essence was purified into essence gold primeval essence. Right now, he was pouring his primeval essence into Bai Ningbing's aperture through bone-flesh unity Gu and helped her nourish and strengthen her aperture. Several hours later, Fang Yuan retracted his palms while Bai Ningbing slowly opened her eyes. Her expression was tranquil. She did not show a trace of gratitude to Fang Yuan for rescuing her, and also did not show a trace of anger for his procrastination. She was very tranquil, as if she had never even been trapped. However, in the depths of her heart, she felt extremely complicated. For a long time now, she had been above Fang Yuan in terms of cultivation. But right now, she had instead become the beneficiary of Bone-Flesh Unity Gu. Essence Gold Primeval Essence gave her huge assistance. After all, she was still at rank 4 initial stage. It seems cultivating together with Fang Yuan isn't so bad. The moment this thought appeared, Bai Ningbing extinguished it in a flash. She slowly stood up and spoke with coldness in her voice, like she was taking joy in Fang Yuan's misfortune. Have you heard of the recent rumors? Many people are saying you hold the great secret of 3 kings' inheritance. You did not know any flying methods before but received it from 3 kings' inheritance. Hehe, you need to watch out. Tai clan is furious and has publicly proclaimed you as their enemy. Their arrest warrant for you has already spread over the southern border. Fang Yuan indifferently replied while remaining seated, Hehe, is there anyone who doesn't know about our relationship? Since Tai clan is coming after me, you will also be on the hit list. Humph, continue your cultivation till midnight, I will stay guard for you. After midnight, we shall switch. Saying so, Bai Ningbing walked out. The current situation, compared to when they had just arrived at Xianxia Mountain, was much more dangerous. Fang and Bai did their best to cultivate at different times. In the depths of the cave, Fang Yuan remained alone. He did not hurriedly cultivate but rather sank into contemplation. Tai clan's response was already within his expectations. He killed an elder of Tai clan and also chased their young master, already ruthlessly infringing their bottom line. Tai clan was a top clan, one of the leaders of righteous path. How could they put up with this? Their retaliation would definitely be extremely fierce. Besides Tai clan, there were also other problems. Shang clan, Wu clan and others in the righteous path, Hu Mei Heir, Li Xian, Century Boy and others in the demonic path. This was the price for becoming famous. Fang Yuan made his name from the battle, but it also pushed him towards the eye of the storm and was now watched by countless people. There were undercurrents and probings from all sides, there were even waves that wanted to submerge him, already having converged into a huge whirlpool. With his previous life's experience, Fang Yuan knew he was facing a test. If he could escape from this whirlpool, resist the assault of the waves, then he would truly gain a foothold and become a publicly recognized expert of southern border. But if he was swallowed and shredded by this whirlpool, there was no need to mention anything. Now, divine thief Lu Zuanfeng should have already repeatedly infiltrated Demon Suppression Tower and caused a great havoc. Tai clan should already be under huge pressure. If they want to gather their energy to deal with me, it won't be a matter of a month or 2. I can forget about them for now. The rumors outside claiming that I hold the great secret should be Li Xian and Hu Mei Heir's doing. Humph, I will deal with these 2 sooner or later. It is just that Li Xian still has a lot of value currently. And behind Hu Mei Heir stands rank 6 Gu Immortal. I need to plan this carefully. 3 Kings' inheritance is a really big cake, I have no way of eating it whole. I can only choose the best parts of it. If I can obtain the essence of the inheritance, like undefeated 100 battles Gu and others, this trip would be a success. My strength will have an enormous boost and it would be extremely helpful in the great battle of Tian Mountain. Thoughts whirled in Fang Yuan's mind before he dispersed them and thought of Central Continent. Calculating the time, Hu Immortal inheritance on Tian Mountain should have opened. This is a true Gu Immortal blessed land and is many times more precious than 3 Kings' inheritance. That Feng Jin Huang became a Gu Immortal all due to this inheritance and became a figure whose name would shake the world in the future. Meanwhile in Central Continent, at the foot of Tian Mountain, the elite disciples that came from the 10 great sects of Central Continent gathered together. In the crowd, The real Gu Yufangzheng softly let out a breath of turbid air. The great competition that lasted for months was finally over. Several months ago, the 10 great sects sent an order at the same time to organize a great competition for these elite disciples to determine the rankings. Central Continent's 10 sects contained the strongest inheritances. This generation of elite disciples were all dragons among men, children of heaven. Even the worst disciples among them had 1 or 2 trump cards. Because of Fairy Bai Xia, Gu Fangzheng did not have an easy time. In the great competition, many of his opponents showed deep hostility and made heavy-handed attacks. Fortunately, Fangzheng had deep foundation, possessing an Ironbeak flying crane group and also had the guidance of Lord Sky Crane who was inside the spirit incubating fleet. These allowed him to struggle through each round and obtain a rather high ranking. Right now, in the sky of Tian Ti Mountain, 10 formless Gu immortal divine consciousness were quietly communicating. This generation of elite disciples are also ordinary in general. But there are finally some excellent juniors. Spirit Butterfly Valley's Xiaoqi Xing is pretty good. If I am not wrong, he should be the great-grandson of Xiao Baihong, right? Myriad Dragon Doxing Xingji is also very outstanding. Long Nu has taught him well. You are too kind. Your granddaughter Feng Jin Huang is the truly outstanding one, none of her peers can match her attack. Are you all going to keep on flattering each other? Let's cooperate and completely open this Hu immortal inheritance. Alright. Then let's strike together. Rise. 10 formless powers surged out from the void, majestic and boundless like tsunami or mountain torrent. The world changed, wind rose and clouds rumbled. The 10 powers revolved around each other before converging together and colliding against a certain place on Tian Ti Mountain. There was no sound, the terrifying formless power vanished like thin air. Golden rays of light blossomed and a vermilion gatehouse slowly rose up. The gatehouse was 100 feet tall with a 9-colored plaque on it shining brilliantly. In the air, pink propitious clouds gathered and bright rays of sunlight gathered to become a flight of stairs. The stairs stretched out from the gatehouse and became a rainbow bridge, landing exactly before the group of elite disciples. Enter according to the ranking of the competition. An ethereal voice came from the air and clearly resounded in the 10 sects disciples' ears. This was the voice of a Gu immortal. All kinds of expressions appeared on the 10 sects disciples' faces: awe, reverence, zealotry, and so on. Most of their gazes gathered on a girl. She was wearing a phoenix coronet, had slanted eyes, her golden brows were thin and long and there was a small red birthmark in the middle of her brows. Her appearance was dignified and graceful, and her beauty was unrivaled. She was the winner of the first place in this great competition, Feng Jin Huang. This girl was magnificent and brilliant, her skin was like snow and her eyes were like lightning. Like the phoenix that soared through the skies, she was elegant and pure, arrogantly looking at the world. When compared to her, the elite disciples around her seemed to have turned into ordinary sparrows. Feng Zheng had fought with her, but was defeated in just 6 moves. Hearing the Gu immortal's voice, Feng Jin Huang gave a clear whistle and turned into a golden light, shooting forward. The golden light became a phoenix and collided into the gatehouse. The vermilion gatehouse shook and opened a void that swallowed Feng Jin Huang. After Feng Jin Huang, Xiaoqi Xing, Ying Xingji and others entered Hu immortal inheritance one after another. After 20 to 30 disciples entered, it was Gu Yufangzheng's turn. Fangzheng walked through the rainbow bridge and entered the gatehouse. He immediately felt dizzy, colors rotated around to form a whirlpool in front of him, dazzling like the blossoming of all sorts of flowers. He felt like he was drifting in a gorgeous hurricane storm. A cute and young girl suddenly appeared in his sight. You are also another fated person that wants to inherit Hu immortal inheritance. In a moment, you will see a mountain. Only the first person that ascends to the peak can obtain me. You need to work hard. Those people that entered before you have already taken a huge lead. He he he. The girl was wearing rainbow-colored clothes, on her back was a snow-white fox tail that was moving mischievously, she had large and round eyes that showed her innocence. You, who are you? Fang Zheng was startled and puzzled, he was unable to make sense of this Gu immortal's place, how could a girl appear here? He, so it is a stupid boy. The girl said and mischievously extended her tender and fair little finger, and softly touched Fang Zheng's forehead. Then, just like how she had appeared, she suddenly disappeared. From this slight touch, Fang Zheng's body that had been light as a feather recovered its weight and suddenly started falling down. Ah! A strong feeling of weightlessness spread over Fang Zheng, and he subconsciously screamed. He wanted to activate his Gu worms, but to his horror, his whole aperture was locked in by a formless force, making him unable to use the powers of Gu. Could it be that I, Gu Fang Zheng, am going to die at this place, dying by falling, having such an absurd death? Chapter 366, Land Spirit. Thud. A dull sound echoed with dust flying everywhere. Fang Zheng fell flat on his face on the ground. Although he fell from a high altitude, it was only for a short time before he landed, thus he survived. Spit spit spit. Fang Zheng sprawled on the ground and spitted grass and mud out of his mouth, a sore pain spreading throughout his body as he felt stifled. Where is this? He took slow, deep breaths and stood up awkwardly before looking at his surroundings. It was a scenery of green, Fang Zheng felt like he was in a grassland. The grass rustled with the light wind and countless flowers of all colors formed a tapestry that spread to the horizon. Far away, there was a tall and precipitous crystal mountain. The crystal mountain was half translucent and was pink like a scene from dreams. From his position, Fang Zheng could clearly see human silhouettes climbing the mountain. Compared to the crystal mountain, these figures were very small like ants. The first person to ascend to the peak will obtain Hu immortal inheritance. Suddenly, Fang Zheng recalled the mysterious girl's words. Who was that mysterious little girl? Could they really inherit Hu immortal inheritance by climbing this mountain? While Fang Zheng was indulging in his doubts, Lord Sky Crane's anxious voice appeared from inside him. Stupid disciple, what are you still hesitating for? Quickly go climb that dang Hun mountain. Master. Fang Zheng was both startled and happy. Who was that little girl? And, why can't I use any Gu? Get a move on already, grasp every second. I will explain to you, listen properly. Lord Sky Crane hurriedly explained. Hu immortal inheritance is not a small matter, it is an intact Gu immortal inheritance. There can only be one inheritor, whoever obtains it will soar to the top and will have a huge chance to become an immortal. As for the others, they will obtain no benefits or rewards. The little girl you saw just before is the Hu immortal inheritance. As long as you ascend to the peak first, you will become her master and obtain the Gu immortal inheritance. Fang Zheng ran while gazing at the peak. He had lived in southern border and there were many mountains there. He naturally knew the logic of the mountain appearing close but was actually very far away. Master, I am very far away from this crystal mountain while they are already climbing it. The gap is too huge. I also cannot use movement Gu, how can I win? Lord Sky Crane snorted, ignorant. This is Hu immortal blessed land, this place is not like anything else. Although Hu immortal has already passed away, her will still exists. Your movement Gu has already been sealed by Hu immortal's will, naturally you can't use it. Others are also the same, they can't use any Gu. You can only rely on your own physical strength to ascend to the peak and finish this test. Feng Zheng could not help being dispirited. I can't use movement Gu and there is such a huge gap, how can I catch up to them? Strange, we entered the gatehouse one after another, how could the gap be so huge? Lord Sky Crane laughed, this is a Gu immortal blessed land, the time flow here is different. A day in the outside world is 5 days here. You guys entered the gatehouse one by one and the time difference was short. But once you enter here, the time difference is suddenly pulled apart. Otherwise, why would there be the great competition to decide the ranking? Each rank represents a certain advantage. The last ranked person basically doesn't have any hope to win. So it was like that. Feng Zheng only then realized the importance of obtaining a good ranking in the great competition. Unfortunately, he lacked power and his strength could not compare to others. The 10 great sects were the heads of Central Continent, they had a lot of hidden talents with extremely profound foundations. Even Southern Border's top clans could not compare to them. In this generation of elite disciples like Feng Zheng, Fairy Bai Xia, Gu Ting and Wei Wuxiang were only second tier. The first tier were disciples like Feng Jin Huang, Ying Xing Ji and Xiao Qi Xing. They had powerful background and the support of Gu immortals. From the very start, they received meticulous nurturing. A huge amount of resources were provided to them, with them never lacking anything, and occasionally, Gu immortal level existences would personally instruct and guide them in their cultivation. Comparatively speaking, Feng Zheng was only a countryside boy. Although he had some fortuitous encounters, they could not compare to the support of Gu immortals. My ranking is not high, I can't do anything about. I already given my best in the great competition, almost all of my iron-beak flying cranes have died. Feng Zheng felt regret and also helplessness. As he kept on thinking, he suddenly felt something amiss. Master, since Gu worms cannot be used here, how come you are able to talk to me? Master, you still had this secret, you are really amazing. Ha ha ha. Lord Sky Crane could not help but laugh loudly, stupid disciple, you finally realized this? But you are overestimating your master. I was only a rank 5 while alive and after death, my soul is residing in the spirit incubating flea, I have nothing left. The reason I can talk to you is because of our immortal crane sect supreme elder lord He Feng Yang. Feng Zheng, you need to remember, in this world, only Gu immortals can contend with Gu immortals. Supreme elder He Feng Yang. Feng Zheng was filled with shock, immortal crane sect had many Gu immortals. Among them was He Feng Yang, to think he would be somewhat involved with him. Lord Sky Crane meaningfully said, Feng Zheng, whose immortal inheritance is not a small matter, it has a land spirit. That is to say, this blessed land has its own will. Even a Gu immortal can't get through force. Land spirits are innocent and stubborn, inheriting their original master's obsession. If a Gu immortal forcefully attacks, even if the land spirit can't resist it, it could choose to self-destruct and destroy the blessed land. The Gu master that made the forceful attack would also suffer injuries in vain and would have disastrous losses, and all their efforts would become futile. Thus, they sent you elite disciples. In this great competition, Feng Jin Huang from Spirit Affinity House is truly amazing. This girl could be said to be a genius among geniuses, arrogantly looking down at the crowd, a phoenix among people. Your strength is inadequate and it is normal for you to be defeated by her. But our immortal crane sect has not necessarily lost. You are our immortal crane sect's hope for reversal. Me? Feng Zheng could not help opening his eyes wide as he had never expected there to be such a huge hope entrusted to him. He suddenly realized. This contest for Hu immortal inheritance looked like a contest among the elite disciples of the 10 sects, but actually was the battle between the 10 great sections. Disciples like him were the chess pieces while the Gu immortals of the 10 sects were the players, they arranged the pieces from behind the scenes and contested against each other. And he himself was the ignorant secret weapon chosen by the immortal Crane sect. Master, isn't the sect having too much expectations for me? I can't use any Gu now, how can I be the winner? He he he. Lord Sky Crane proudly laughed. Fong Zheng, do you know what this crystal mountain is? This is the Dang Hun Mountain in the legends of Renzu. Dang Hun Mountain. Fong Zheng gave a startled cry. Legends of Renzu had spread over the world. Fong Zheng naturally knew of this famous Dang Hun Mountain. Lord Sky Crane continued, as long as any living creatures enter the range of Dang Hun Mountain, their soul would receive a shock. The closer they get to the peak, the stronger the force of the shock would be. Many living beings don't have strong souls and their soul would often scatter when they reach halfway up the mountain. Naturally, this is a righteous path inheritance and isn't as dangerous as a demonic path inheritance. Dang Hun Mountains might has already been suppressed by the land spirit, giving you elite disciples a chance of ascending to the peak. If someone is unable to continue, they would be sent out by the land spirit. That is to say, there is no risk to your lives. Lord Sky Crane's tone became solemn. Fong Zheng, the thing I am about to say is very important, listen carefully. You experienced the destruction of your entire clan at a young age and the killer was your own big brother. You are determined to take revenge and your will is firm. Surviving this terrible event had tempered your soul to become stronger than your peers. But there is still a gap when compared to people like Feng Jin Huang and Xiaoqi Xing. But you don't need to be dejected, the ingenuity of Lord He Feng Yang's plan lies here. He used secret methods to resuscitate spirit incubating flea. Next, I will use my soul to support you and push you towards the peak of Dang Hun Mountain. Lord Sky Crane was a rank 5 Gu master. He had gone through innumerable difficulties throughout his life and at the same time with his long age, he had gained plentiful experience and the strength of his soul naturally far surpassed the disciples like Feng Jin Huang and Xiaoqi Xing. These geniuses might be at their prime with limitless future prospects, but right now, the foundation of their soul could not compare to Lord Sky Crane. Fong Zheng was both happy and worried. With Master's help, I have a chance at winning. But if we cheat like this, won't it be unfair? If other Gu immortals discover it, what would we do? Lord Sky Crane snorted and reprimanded, stupid kid, this is not cheating but ability and talent. We are obtaining the Gu immortal inheritance with our ability and talent. This is fair. Don't worry, behind you is Immortal Crane sect, and with Lord He Feng Yang protecting you, other Gu immortals won't act against you. Moreover, Gu immortals can't enter the Blessed Land. If they enter the Blessed Land, they will suffer the counterattack from the land spirit, thus even if they discover some clues, they can only watch helplessly. Ha ha ha. The land spirit is so amazing. Even Gu immortals are not its match. Fong Yuan felt surprised. One side will go all out while the other side has to restrain themselves. Moreover, land spirit has blended in with the blessed land, and in the blessed land, land spirit is an immortal deity able to control the whole blessed land. Controlling the land spirit means controlling the blessed land. Lord Sky Crane laughed. Realization dawned upon Fong Zheng. Ah. I understand, that little girl we saw is the land spirit. Ha ha ha. Lord Sky Crane laughed, disciple, you aren't so stupid after all, finally realizing it. That's right, that little girl is who immortal land spirit. Now charge forward bravely. This Dang Hun Mountain is extremely difficult to climb, it would at least take a year or so. Just in case, I won't speak much from now and will only secretly help you. With my help, you have at least 80% chance of seizing Hu Immortal Inheritance. As long as you get the Hu Immortal Inheritance, you can rise rapidly, turning from beggar to tycoon and become fat from just one bite. This is ascending to the heavens in one step. I understand, Master. I will do my very best and not disappoint you. Fang Zheng's fierce eyes flashed with a firm and courageous light. Go, the whole immortal crane sect is looking at you. Lord Sky Crane spurred Fang Zheng on with one sentence and made his blood boil. Fang Zheng felt extremely energetic. Chapter 367, It is not easy to be a godfather these days. Several months later. Southern border, Xianxia Mountain. In a spacious cave lighted with bright lights, a huge banquet was being held where Gu masters drank and gambled, and fragrance of various dishes permeated the air. Come, 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 everyone, eat and drink to your fill, no need to feel uncomfortable. Century Boy was sitting on the main seat, he looked around and greeted everyone with a loud voice. Century Boy was wearing a black robe and looked like a tender boy but was actually over 180 years old. In this world, under normal circumstances, a human's lifespan was only around 100 years. If one wanted to increase their lifespan, the best method was to find lifespan Gu. However, lifespan Gu were extremely rare and thus difficult to find. Humans were the spirit of all living beings, who would mind having a long life. Thus, they thought of many other methods. Century Boy was one such example. Although he did not find lifespan Gu, he possessed return to childhood Gu, which accumulated his life force and slowly released them, gaining the effect of longevity. The disadvantage of this method was his body and appearance were fixed to have a child's physique. Century Boy had rank 4 upper stage cultivation and at the same time possessed over 180 years of experience. He was truly a part of the senior generation of demonic path. He had become astute with age and had visited a lot of places. He liked holding feasts and entertaining all kinds of people. Sometimes, he also gave pointers to some newcomers and imparted some of his experience. In the demonic path, he had the reputation of guiding the younger generation. Some demonic Gu masters who received his pointers recognized him as their godfather. As time passed, Century Boy had gathered a whole group of godsons and goddaughters, forming a rather enormous force. Among those participating in the banquet today, many were his godsons and goddaughters. There were also distinguished guests like Rock Lizard Li Chang and Fiery Star Bao Tong. They were all famous demonic path figures and could not be underestimated. Shang Clan's Yihua is truly powerful. He suppressed the other 4 rank 4 peak stage experts. Currently on Xianxia Mountain, no one wants to fight him. Gu Refinement Grandmaster Feng Tianyu has arrived and has agreed to refine Gu for Yihua. I am not sure what Gu he is refining, but Yihua's fighting strength is sure to become more powerful. In the banquet, the most talked discussion was naturally about the current situation of Xianxia Mountain. Yihua came from Shang clan and represented the righteous path. His power and influence was huge, suppressing all the demonic Gu masters on Xianxia Mountain. They could not even fight properly as they were fearful. Yihua might be strong, but he is only rank 4 peak stage. If Tai Ba Xiu was still alive, he could definitely contend with him and Yihua would not have been in such a bright limelight like now. The moment Tai Ba Xiu was mentioned, everyone inevitably thought of Fang Yuan. A few days ago, Little Beast King killed Yu Tsang. This is the 4th strength path Gu master he has killed in just this month. Someone whispered. Yu Tsang was a strength path Gu master and was from Yu clan, which was a small middle-sized clan. Ever since Fang Yuan killed Tai Ba Xiu, his momentum increased tremendously. He looked for trouble again and again, killing both demonic path and righteous path Gu masters. This awe-inspiring, fierce and brutal name shook Xianxia Mountain. Century Boy's ears twitched, and his expression turned unsightly when his keen sense heard Little Beast King. Fang Yuan killed Sky Tiger Xue Sanxi, who was his goddaughter. He had been proclaiming he would find trouble with Fang Yuan. However, after Fang Yuan killed Tai Ba Xiu, he immediately gave in and did not talk of Fang Yuan again. Humph. Little Beast King might be strong, but it is because of 3 kings' inheritance. He knows many secrets regarding the inheritance, and thus every time he enters the inheritance, his gains are much more than ours. Li Xian, you have made deals with him and know much more about his situation. Is this not the case? Rock Lizard Li Chang suddenly spoke loudly. Li Xian nodded, indeed it is so. In these few months, Little Beast King has sold some of the secrets of Three Kings' inheritance many times. The information he gave is mostly correct and has been verified. For example, you can disturb Harry Men's Gu refinement process in the earlier stages of King Xin inheritance. There are also some of his experiences regarding King Quan inheritance. Little Beast King definitely knows much more important secrets and is hiding them deep in his heart. His luck has come, he really made it big this time. His strength has been increasing by relying on Three Kings' inheritance. Now, he is one of the most popular candidates to inherit Three Kings' inheritance. Fiery Star Bao Tong said as he drank wine, his tone filled with admiration and envy. Fong Zheng is getting stronger and he has replaced his Gu worms to much better ones as well. In these few months, he and Bai Ning Bing has been moving together, they are simply a pair of wretched murderous couple. These two are villains colluding together, who knows how many have suffered from their treacherous attacks. Little Beast King has extremely big ambitions. From the time he arrived at San Cha Mountain to now, he has repeatedly challenged Strength Path Gu Masters. Recently, he has again claimed to become the #1 in Strength Path and recover the glory of the ancient Strength Path. Fortunately, I am not a Strength Path Gu Master. Everyone discussed and commented. Fang Yuan only took the initiative to fight Strength Path Gu Masters. This caused Strength Path Gu Masters to be in danger, while Gu Masters of other paths watched on from the side with an attitude of taking joy in others' misfortune. Although Fang Yuan's actions were unbridled, he did not provoke public anger. On one hand, he was powerful and could also fly, truly not an easy enemy. On another hand, he took the initiative to reveal many information on Three Kings' inheritance which caused many people to fawn upon him. Finally, he only went against Strength Path Gu Masters, only dealing with people of the same path, and did not blindly provoke other Gu Masters. Century Boy, you need to be careful. From what I remember, you are also a Strength Path Gu Master, right? Fang Zheng, that brute is mean and devious, and completely unreasonable, cruel and tyrannical. Rock Lizard Li Chang stared deeply at Century Boy, seemingly persuading him with good intentions. Century Boy sighed inwardly. How could he have imagined Fang Yuan to be so violent? Sigh, each generation brings forth new geniuses. Nowadays, newcomers are appearing in flocks. A few years ago, there was Imo Wu Tian and now Little Beast King has appeared. This world is becoming increasingly tough, it is not easy to even be a godfather. Century Boy thought like that inwardly, but on the surface he was still tough. When heavens want someone dead, it will first make them mad and violent. This Little Beast King is become madder and more violent, he is not far from reaching death's door. He killed my goddaughter Xue Sanxi, I will take revenge sooner or later. But there is no need to hurry, wait till Three Kings' inheritance is over and I will slowly settle the scores with him. The important matter is Three Kings' inheritance. Saying so, he reminded his godsons and goddaughters present in the banquet, you guys also need to understand the logic of important things first. Three Kings' inheritance is an opportunity that seldom appears in 100 years. You need to grasp it as much as possible or else you will regret it for your lifetime. What he meant was, you guys better avoid any conflicts with Little Beast King. Godfather is right. Godfather's words are reasonable and thought-provoking. Revenge is a dish best served cold. This Little Beast King won't be able to keep bouncing for long, he killed Tai Ba Xue and chased Tai Clan's young master. We will talk after he is hunted down by Tai Clan. I heard people saying Tai clansmen have already secretly arrived at San Cha Mountain. Godfather, Wait till my cultivation reaches rank 4, there won't be a need for Godfather to make a move, I will be able to deal with Little Beast King. Little Beast King won't remain proud for long, under my thunderclap Gu, there won't even be a corpse left of him. These goddaughters and godsons talked one after another, some expressed great loyalty and said they would go through any difficulties for Century Boy. Some even fawned, saying it was not worth for Century Boy to deal with Fong Yuan. Some judged the situation and bluntly said Fong Yuan's joy would not last long. All right, you are my godchildren. It was not in vain for me to have guided you. Century Boy laughed loudly. Right at this time, a voice suddenly came in from outside the cave. Century Boy, I am Fong Zheng, get out. The merrymaking just before, the clamorous banquet suddenly turned into deathly quietness. Little Beast King. How could he come find trouble here? Everyone's eyes opened wide and looked at each other in shock. This was especially the case with Century Boy and his godsons and goddaughters, they were all stupefied and did not know what to do, not daring to utter a word. Right, this is Little Beast King's voice, it seems he really came. Li Xian held back his smile and broke the silence. Rock Lizard Li Chang, Fiery Star Bao Tong and others all put their wine cups down with grave expressions. Crash! Century Boy smashed his wine cup on the table, then he gritted his teeth and shouted to the outside, Little Beast King, I am here, what can I do for you? Fong Yuan's voice immediately came from outside the cave, Humph, Century Boy, you held such a huge banquet and invited all the heroes, but you actually didn't invite me? Are you looking down on me? You don't need to apologize, it is already too late for apologies. Since you are also a Strength Path Gu Master, then come out and exchange moves with me. When Century Boy heard this, he was startled, indignant and furious. Fong Yuan's appearance made him startled. Fong Yuan's brashness made him indignant. And Fong Yuan's such words that made it seem like Century Boy was really going to apologize made him angry. However, Century Boy did not want to fight to the death with Fong Yuan. He looked around and shouted with a furious tone, Little Beast King, don't be too insolent. You came here to find trouble and have no consideration for anyone, you are simply looking down on all the numerous heroes here. I will tell you honestly, Lord Rock Lizard Li Chang is here, there is also Lord Fiery Star Bao Tong and also young Master Li Xian who is an emerging talent of the demonic path. Are you here to court death? With these words, everyone in the banquet had different expressions, inwardly cursing this treacherous Century Boy who wanted to pull them down with him. However, Fong Yuan said, Century Boy, you coward, the people you have invited are all heroes, but I can clearly tell you that I came to find trouble. But not with others, I came to find trouble especially with you. I want to recover the glory and the radiance of the ancient Strength Path. You are a puny coward who is damaging the name of the Strength Path, come out and accept your death. Li Chang's grave expression immediately relaxed at these words. Fong Yuan explained his purpose for coming clearly, it was directed at Century Boy and this let his mind slightly relax. I did not think Lord Little Beast King knew our names. Bao Tong stroked his beard with a satisfied expression. Li Xian laughed darkly and looked at Century Boy with every intention to watch indifferently from the sidelines. Century Boy had become astute with age, his expression immediately sunk when he saw everyone's expressions. Chapter 368, Tearing the Boy Apart. As Fong Yuan scolded over there, Century Boy's chest was burning with anger, thinking, although Little Beast King is strong, the reason he killed Tai Ba Xiu was due to the flying ability's advantage. He is so young, I have eaten more salt than he has eaten rice, as long as I focus on defense, and not act recklessly, I will not be in any mortal danger. Being in public, Century Boy could only forcefully keep up a facade. If he avoided battle here, the reputation and fame he worked hard to earn for many years would be ruined at once. But if I really cannot take it, I can still escape back to the cave. There are so many people here at the banquet, Fang Zheng would not dare to barge in. But what truly angers me is, what these people said earlier were nice words, but at the crucial moment, none of them are dependable. Century Boy stared at his godson and goddaughters, feeling upset and disappointed. Speaking of which, among these godsons and daughters of his, only Xianxia had the highest cultivation, and was the most outstanding among them, but Fang Yuan killed her already. Little Beast King, you are too arrogant and overbearing, today I will let you learn that older people are wiser. Century Boy walked out of the cave, screaming furiously at Fang Yuan. He looked like a child, but his tone was old and experienced. It was a weird sight. Cut the crap, receive my move. Fang Yuan saw Century Boy walk out and laughed coldly, taking a huge step forward, like a tiger descending the mountain, charging forward with a burst of wind. All-out effort Gu. At once, beast phantoms appeared and caused Fang Yuan's strength to increase sharply. Bam bam bam. Sounds of punches and kicks were heavy and continuously. Outside the cave, two Strength Path Gu masters tangled together. They were close-range fighters, every attack hit the target as they competed with brute force. After a while, they had battled over 100 steps away, everywhere they rampaged through, mountain rocks broke, trees toppled, dust and twigs flew in the air. The Gu masters in the banquet had left the cave, watching the battle. Bitter Strength Gu. Fang Yuan gave up on defending, the more injured he got, the more strength he could exert. Moo. Suddenly, there was the sound of a bull cry as a large green bull phantom appeared above his head. This green bull has a huge body, twice the size of an elephant, its back was raised highly, thick and solid, and full of green moss. This was the mutated beast Kunlun 1 bull, having the same status as Biao, dragon elephant, thunder boar and rock crocodile. Fang Yuan exerted the strength of a Kunlun bull. This strike was heavy, as the air exploded, emitting a thunderous roar. Century Boy was unable to guard in time, sent flying as his tiny body was like a ball, crashing through more than 10 trees before stopping. He coughed out a mouthful of blood, staring fiercely at Fang Yuan. To think it is the Kunlun bull strength, Little Beast King's strength rose again. Century Boy, I killed your goddaughter Xianxia, didn't you want revenge? Today, I will give you the chance. Fang Yuan smiled mockingly, charging again. Little Beast King, you are too arrogant, watch this. Century Boy was red with anger, white smoke coming out of his eyebrows. He received Fang Yuan's attack but did not counterattack. Century Boy was a demonic figure who had lived for over 200 years, he had his abilities, and many trump cards. When he truly unleashed his strength, Fang Yuan started to feel pressured, on the verge of falling into a disadvantage. Strength Chi Gu. Suddenly, Fang Yuan's shoulder shrugged, and a trace of Strength Chi shot out. Thunderboar Phantom entered the Strength Chi and turned solid, charging toward Century Boy. Century Boy could only avoid the attack, as Fang Yuan started attacking furiously behind the Thunderboar. Century Boy's counterattack vanished like smoke. Fang Yuan's battle experience became more and more rich, and his mastery of this set of Gu worm rose. Before, he could not use Strength Chi Gu while attacking at close range, but now after tens of matches, he could coordinate his own body and his beast phantoms perfectly. Thunderboar charged bravely, smashing rocks and mounds along the way. Rock Crocodile was tough, using its tail like a steel whip, and its teeth like razors. It was a ferocious beast. Kunlun Bull had brute force and horn attacks, its back was like tough mountain rocks. These three beast phantoms, once activated, caused Century Boy to feel extremely outpaced as he hurriedly defended himself. Solid beast phantoms were the biggest threat to Century Boy. But after the beast phantom was destroyed, it turned back into a trace of strength chi. When Fong Yuan activates the strength chi Gu again, the beast phantom would appear good as new. Thankfully, Little Beast King's 3 beast phantoms can only be unleashed through luck. His all-out effort Gu is still rank 3, it cannot summon these beast phantoms. Century Boy was suppressed by Fong Yuan, but he felt glad secretly. Although Fong Yuan swapped his boar, crocodile, and green bull phantoms to thunder boar, rock crocodile, and Kunlun bull phantoms, it caused his overall strength to rise, but there was weaknesses. His all-out effort Gu was only rank 3, it could not summon these 3 rank 4 phantoms at will. That is, unless Fong Yuan gets the undefeated 100 battles Gu from King Xian's inheritance, and raise the all-out effort Gu to rank 4. Godfather's situation is getting worse. Do we strike? Do you want to die? They are fighting so intensely, before we even join in, we will be turned into meat paste. Strong, way too strong. Among us, only Sky Tiger can contest, but she was killed by Fong Zheng long ago. Do we just watch like this? What are you scared of? Is Godfather so easy to deal with? He has his trump cards left. Outside the cave, Century Boy's godsons and daughters saw the intense battle and were trembling with fear, their limbs turning cold. Century Boy had a tiny body, his fighting style was to find loopholes and dodge everywhere, he liked to aim at crucial areas, when he punches and kicks, it forms an impact. Meanwhile, Fong Yuan attacked directly, punching and kicking, his arms like long spears while his legs were like large poles. At times, he caused explosive sounds when he attacked, giving off a dominating aura. Century Boy was suppressed gradually, and his moving space shrunk. These few months, Fong Yuan had improved in terms of Gu worms. Not only did he turn Green Bull into Kunlun Bull Phantom, he also finished using Essence Iron Bones Gu, and raised the toughness of his bones again, to about twice or thrice of before. Other than these, he also used the Golden Steel Tendon Gu, turning his body tendons into the hardness of golden steel. Ancient Bronze Skin, Essence Iron Bones, Golden Steel Tendons. The 3 defenses molded into one, complementing each other as Fong Yuan's defense rose sharply. Combined with the Golden Shield Gu, it was enough to handle the full strength of a rank 4 peak stage Gu master. Century Boy was getting more frightened as he fought, this little beast king, why is he so experienced? I had the lower hand at the start and I tried to reverse the situation, but I did not succeed once. Is he still a young man? How can such a person be around 20 years old? Century Boy thought about himself when he was 20, compared to Fong Yuan, he felt that he had lived a dog's life all these years. No, I must retreat, this little beast king cannot be assessed by human standards. No wonder Tai Ba Xiu died in his hands, up till now, he has not used the Bone Wings Gu yet. Century Boy was suppressed by Fong Yuan, not even able to catch a breath. After thinking about it, he wanted to retreat. He turned his body, towards the cave. Century Boy, are you afraid? Fong Yuan activated Charging Crash Gu, chasing relentlessly. Century Boy, with me here, where do you think you can go? Bai Ningbing suddenly jumped into the battlefield, blocking Century Boy's path. You! Century Boy's attention was on Fong Yuan, how would he expect Bai Ningbing to appear right beside him, and strike an underhanded move? Caught off guard, he was hit by Bai Ningbing's attack head-on and lost his bearings. Fong Yuan did not give up such a good chance, unleashing a flurry of attacks. And his luck was finally shining, as Thunder Boar, Rock Crocodile, and Kunlun Bull, the 3 great phantoms all appeared at once. The great strength surged like a wave, flooding Century Boy like the attack of the sea. Century Boy did not even manage to scream out before Fang Yuan grabbed both his legs and tore him in half. Ah! Godfather, you died a pitiful death. Lord Century Boy. At once, everyone screamed in shock, as blood spewed, bones broke, and organs fell on the ground. Ha! So much for Century Boy, you are nothing much. Fang Yuan laughed as he raised his head, showing off an extreme arrogance. Blood poured on his face as he stared at the people in front of him, shouting unhappily, "Why are you being so noisy?" Century Boy ran away at the last moment, timid like a rat. He is a disgrace to the strength path, he deserved death. Suddenly, his expression eased, laughing, "Everyone here is a smart person and did not help this shameless rat. Come, let's go in and drink. Li Xian, do you want the information regarding the Three Kings' inheritance? I still have a deal with you." Everyone was shocked, worried, and also curious. Shock was because Fang Yuan was like a demonic god incarnate, killing another famous person and showing off a greater strength. Worry was because Fang Yuan killed people like cutting grass. He had just killed a person, but the next moment he started laughing, talking about life. He did not care about human lives at all. Being with such a person, anyone would feel intense pressure. Curious was because Fang Yuan knew the Three Kings' inheritance's secret, and wanted to deal with Li Xian. Could they get some information regarding the Three Kings' inheritance from him? Everyone had a complex thought and could not decide. Fang Yuan walked briskly side by side with Bai Ningbing into the cave. The people blocking the cave subconsciously gave way to them. Fang Yuan stepped into the banquet and sat at the host's seat. This was originally Century Boy's seat. "All of you sit down, no need to be polite. Whoever dares to leave, is not giving me, Little Beast King, face." Fang Yuan looked at everyone as he threatened fiercely. Rock Lizard Li Chang, Fiery Star Bao Tong, and others were only rank 4 upper stage. They did not dare to speak although enraged, sitting down. Under the cold silence, everyone looked at each other, worried that Fang Yuan would start killing again. They could only sit down. Fang Yuan squinted as he showed a smile, "Since everyone respects me, I shall give you some benefits." Immediately after, he casually gave an information regarding the life-saving token in the Three Kings' inheritance. Everyone heard it and their eyes shone, memorizing this information to heart. Chapter 369, Understanding of the Demonic Path. So there was such a chance at retreating in the Three Kings' inheritance. If I obtain the token, I can move without restraint and wouldn't have to retreat early, Bao Tong lamented. Li Chang took the initiative to raise his wine cup and toasted Fang Yuan. "Lord Little Beast King's words are truly worth 1,000 gold. I raise this wine cup to congratulate Sire for killing Century Boy, this scum of the strength path." Tea cools down as soon as the person is gone. Li Chang had been talking so closely with Century Boy just before, but now the person had been changed to Fang Yuan. He immediately changed his words and called Century Boy the scum. "Ha ha ha, you flatter me." Fang Yuan, however, did not raise his wine cup, but looked at the godchildren of Century Boy and impatiently waved, "Today, I have exterminated the source of evil and my mood is also good, so I will give you guys a way out. If you don't want to stay, then get lost. Get lost, don't block my view." With Century Boy's death, these godsons and goddaughters were already feeling anxious and frightened, and could not help looking at each other when they heard Fang Yuan. "What? You want to stay and try to kill me?" Fang Yuan indifferently smiled. Immediately, there was an uproar. Many people left awkwardly and the cave was instantly empty by half. However, among the godchildren of Century Boy, some still remained. "Lord Fang Zheng, you are my benefactor." A godson suddenly kneeled and yelled with tears and snot falling down, I was forced by that bastard century boy to take him as father. Lord Little Beast King, your dominance shakes the world and your aura overwhelms the lands. You have rescued me, you are my great savior. Lord Little Beast King, your power has thoroughly subdued my heart, please let me stay and serve you. A beautiful goddaughter pleaded alluringly. Lord Little Beast King, you have rescued me from a disaster, I will never forget your great kindness. You have given me new life, please let me call you Godfather. An old man in his 70s kneeled on the ground and passionately shouted. Thump thump thump. Immediately, in front of Fong Yuan was a scene of kneeling people. With Century Boy, the head of this group's death, his force immediately collapsed. Many escaped while a portion looked for an alternative way out and wanted to rely on Fong Yuan. Ha ha ha. Fong Yuan laughed loudly, your words are really pleasant to the ears, good, good. The group of godchildren immediately showed a joyous expression. However, Fong Yuan's smile suddenly stopped as he turned grim, he shouted, a group of bootlickers. Killing is killing, crime is crime, why are you speaking of great kindness? I scorn this type of hypocritical praise. I like killing people, I like committing crimes, listen, how direct is this, how pure is it? Screw off you lot, if you want to take revenge, then accumulate your strength, I will wait for you to challenge me. The godchildren were shocked, frightened and stupefied. Fong Yuan snorted and with a shift of his mind, a beast phantom charged forward, killing one person on the spot. The rest seemed to have startled awake, screams could be heard as they hurried to escape from the cave in a pathetic state and even pissed themselves. The remaining Gu masters all had unsightly looks. Fong Yuan was very temperamental and easily killed people, causing the people around him to feel great pressure. Although Century Boy was hateful, he was many times more lovable when compared to Fong Yuan. Only Bai Ningbing's expression was tranquil as water, she was sitting on the left of Fong Yuan with her blue eyes half closed. Li Chang had been raising his wine cup and still had not placed it down, right now, he forgot his embarrassment and forcefully smiled, Lord Little Beast King, when cutting grass, you need to pull out the roots. You have let these people go, what if one day they make it big? Just to be safe, it is better to kill them all. Lord Little Beast King, it doesn't matter if you don't remember these people, I have memorized their faces. I will kill them in place of you as my thanks for the information you gave. No need, no need. Fong Yuan leaned back on his chair and indifferently smiled. He had his own reasons for letting these people go, but it could not be said out loud. Thinking for a while, Fong Yuan said, since I started walking on the demonic path, I have never feared offending others. As long as I continue to get stronger, what is revenge? If 10 people wants revenge, I will kill 10, if 100 people wants revenge, I will kill 100. If the whole world wants revenge, I will exterminate the whole world. If someone succeeds in taking revenge against me, that will mean that I am not strong enough, that I didn't try hard enough and that I neglected my cultivation, I deserve to die then. A terrifying light flickered in Fong Yuan's eyes as he said this, and when he swept his gaze around, he was like an evil ferocious beast that no one dared to match his gaze. Little Beast King is ruthless to others, but is even more ruthless to himself. This Fong Zheng's demonic nature is too strong. Not fearing revenge, not fearing death, placing his own life and death out of his considerations. Fong Zheng is crazy, his mind is not normal. Making an enemy out of him will be a nightmare. Everyone that heard Fong Yuan felt their hearts go cold. Fong Yuan succeeded in intimidating everyone and did not take it too far, and smiled, let's drink. Everyone raised their wine cups with trembling hands, they felt like they were accompanying a man-eating tiger and were in danger, the originally fine wine felt tasteless. But following immediately, Fong Yuan again talked of 3 kings' inheritance and revealed many secrets. Everyone was engrossed, their breathing started becoming rough in excitement as they listened to the secrets. Only Li Xian was worried and bewildered. What is this little beast king planning? He is actually revealing such precious information, what is he after? The banquet lasted after 2 hours. Fang Yuan killed Century Boy and occupied his cave, even taking charge of the banquet. While others wanted more secrets, they felt their trip was not in vain. When they got out of the cave, they even felt reluctant to leave and wanted to listen to even more news from the cave entrance. As for the original host of the banquet, Century Boy, his torn corpse was still on the ground and its blood had already seeped into the ground. The deathly white bones gave a cold shine under the moonlight. Everyone chatted and laughed, and as they walked past the corpse, no one threw a glance at this loser. This was the ending of the defeated in the demonic path. Losers are always in the wrong. All demonic Gu masters, more or less, had such a common understanding. Light rain fell from the sky and made pitter-patter sounds. The sky was gloomy and the wind blew coldly. The light rain fell on a young girl's hair, shoulders, back and finally, her whole body. Young Master Roanan, the dead cannot be brought back, my condolences to you. The head of Tai clans for old-timers stood behind the girl and persuaded her with a concerned voice. But the girl did not speak, the eyes that were as bright as stars before lost its spirit and looked hollow, there was no longer a resolute and sharp gaze. Tai Roanan looked at the tombstones in front of her in a daze. These tombstones were cut from the mountain stones and the names of the ones that slept under were carved on them. Tai Mu, Tai Dao Ku, Tai Xianxia, Tai Ao Kai, Tai Ba Xiu. Each of these names could relate to the brightest and most profound memories in the depths of Tai Roanan's heart. However, the companions who walked alongside her and fought side by side had become cold corpses within the ground. Similar to Tai Roanan's heart, they would never have a trace of warmth. It is I who harmed you, I didn't fulfill the duty of a leader. You all died, but I am alive by myself. I am a coward. This is all a nightmare, Father, I have blemished your name. Tai Roanan fell into deep self-blame. Besides this, there were also regret and bewilderment. This genius worked hard to climb up after experiencing her father's death, and was like a slowly ascending star of the righteous path who received blessings and attention of countless people. But in the battle several months ago, Fang Yuan personally dropped this star into the abyss. She became a meteorite that smashed into a gloomy corner and was full of cracks. Sigh. The head of the Tai clans for old-timers, Tai Xianxia, looked at the thin and weak figure of the young girl in the rain, and heaved out a long sigh. However, right at this time, an aged voice suddenly came from behind him. It has been several months already, this child Roanan is still like this? Tai Xianxia was startled and frightened. Who was it? They got so near but he did not sense it at all. At that instant, the hair on his body stood up and he turned around quickly and subconsciously tried to attack. However, a wizened hand softly touched his shoulder and a voice followed at the same time, Xianxia, compose yourself. Tai Xianxia immediately felt his whole body turn stiff. The surging primeval sea in his aperture was suppressed by a formidable and formless force. It was like a high mountain had suddenly been suppressed. The grand head of the Tai clans for old-timers, the rank 4 upper stage Tai Xianxia, could not budge even a bit at this moment. His whole body seemed to be confined like an insect trapped within amber. But when he saw the appearance of the person, Tai Xianxia's terror and despair immediately turned into ecstasy. Ah, old clan leader! Tai Xianxia blurted out. The wizened old man who was standing in front of him was Tai clan's previous generation clan leader, Tai Mu Bai. I have already abdicated as clan leader. Now I am also not an elder, Xianxia, you can just call me Mu Bai. The old man gently waved his hand and smiled. Impossible, how could Junior dare to call your great name? Tai Xianxia bowed his back deeply and greeted the old man respectfully. Towards the old man in front of him, Tai Xianxia was filled with reverence and admiration. Name is only a name, the name Tai Mu Bai was meant to be used. There is nothing inappropriate. The old man spoke calmly, vicissitudes of life were reflected in his eyes and he had already seen through fame and fortune. Tai Xianxia wanted to speak but the old man slightly waved his hand and walked forward slowly toward Tai Ruanan. He stood in front of the tombstones with his back facing Tai Ruanan. He then gently caressed the steel and sighed, Tai clansmen are buried at the place they die. This is the rule of Tai clan since it was established. Do you know why? Tai Ruanan was still kneeling on the ground and showed no expression as if she did not hear anything. The old man continued, because to Tai clansmen, dying in the battlefield is the greatest honor. Tai Ba Xiu, Tai Mu, Tai Dao Ku, Tai Xianhua, Tai Ao Kai, these people were the same, your father Tai Shueleng was also the same. In the future when I die, it will also be the same. And when you die, it will still be the same. Chapter 370, The Glory of Tai Clan. Tai Ruanan's eyes twitched and she slowly raised her head to look at this unacquainted but very familiar old man. Our Tai clan, since it was established, had been world-renowned for our bravery, unswerving determination and our iron-cold justice. For many generations, Tai clansmen had been upholding justice and striking down on criminals. In this course, countless people have shed blood and sacrificed their lives. The youths that have died here won't be the first and also won't be the last. Do you understand? The old man continued. Tai Ruanan slightly opened her mouth as if to say something but could not speak anything. I am gratified because these people did not die in vain. But I also feel disappointed because you are living in vain. Tai Ruanan, do you know the criminal is still out there, getting away with his crimes, and still harming people? That little beast King Fongzheng. Tai Mu Bai paused here and then turned around and looked at Tai Ruanan, indifferently asking, do you want to uphold justice? Tai Ruanan looked at this old man and finally recognized his identity. Tai Mu Bai, rank 5 peak stage. Tai clan's previous generation clan leader, he moved unhindered in southern border and had dominated a region. When he was reigning, Tai clan was like an iron bucket that pressed down on Wu clan, Shan clan and other great clans, and became one of the heads of the righteous path, causing terror to the demonic path. Tai Ruanan's deathly still eyes suddenly twinkled with a spark, and she squeezed out a word with her hoarse voice, yes. Good. The old man nodded, his gaze gentle and his tone as calm as before. Starting now, I will impart the metal path to you, the Gu path that our Tai clan's Gu masters used to stand on top of southern border. 8 days later. 3 kings' inheritance opened once again, red, yellow and blue, 3 enormous light pillars pierced through the clouds and were visible even from thousands of miles away. However, San Cha Mountain was a scene of stillness with no sound. Regardless of righteous path or demonic path, countless people looked at the peak. There, a seemingly ordinary wizened old man with grizzled hair and wrinkles all over his face was standing calmly with his hands behind his back. Not far from him, Yihua, Kong Ri Tian, Long Qing Tian, Chong and Wu Shen Tong had dark expressions. Just a moment ago, this old man suppressed the combined power of these 5. He defeated them with no difficulty. Powerful, truly powerful. Tai Mu Bai, Tai clan's previous generation clan leader, was actually still alive. Too fearsome, is this the power of rank 5 peak stage? Yihua, Kong Ri Tian and others simply cannot compare. It would be as easy as crushing ants for him to kill us. Who could have expected Tai clan to actually send their old clan leader? With this, Shang clan, Wu clan and every other clans are not Tai clan's match. This is an expert of the old generation, Little Beast King is not worthy to even carry his shoes. In those days, when he moved unhindered in southern border, under his command, Tai clan gained powerful momentum and even suppressed Wu clan and almost became the sole head of righteous path. He is one of the most powerful clan leaders in Tai clan history. He is the glory of Tai clan, a role model of the righteous path and the symbol of justice. His battle accomplishments shines brilliantly and hasn't lost its color even today. After a short moment of silence, there was an uproar on Xianxia mountain, sounds of admiration, cheers and terror. With Tai Mu Bai's appearance, the power structure on Xianxia mountain completely changed. 3 days later, news made its way out. Originally, divine thief Lu Zuanfeng caused havoc in Tai clan and secretly infiltrated demonic suppression tower multiple times, in the end disturbing Tai Mu Bai who had closed himself in cultivation. Tai Mu Bai personally struck, and even though Lu Zuanfeng was a famous divine thief and also a rank 5 Gu master, he received serious injuries and had a very narrow escape. After Tai clan settled this, their gaze gathered at Xianxia mountain. Tai Ba Xiu's death angered all Tai clan higher-ups. And just as they were about to send an expert over to reinforce the 4 old-timers, Tai Mu Bai said he was going to personally make a visit. He came to Xianxia mountain and with his absolute strength, he easily prevailed over the experts of both righteous and demonic path. Even experts at the level of Yihua and Calm Ri Tian had to concede defeat. From this day onwards, no demonic Gu master may enter 3 kings' inheritance. Tai Mu Bai stood at the peak of the mountain and after winning over the 5 rank 4 peak stage Gu masters, he immediately made the announcement. With just himself, he swept up all the demonic Gu masters on Xianxia mountain. Demonic Gu masters were very angry, however even though they were thousands in number, they did not dare to rebel against the rank 5 peak stage Tai Mu Bai, this supreme expert who stood at the peak of the mortal world. On that day, Calm Ri Tian and Long Qing Tian directly left the mountain with dark expressions. Then, Li Xian, Hu Mei Er and others also left sadly. The laws of the heaven are vast, justice will prevail. Even if 3 kings' inheritance is a demonic path inheritance, it will contribute its strength to our righteous path. Everyone, as long as we unite, sparks will gather little by little into a bright light that will cover the whole Xianxia mountain. And no longer will there be dark places. Tai Mu Bai spoke sincerely, then slowly stepped into the 3 kings' inheritance. There were huge cheers all around Xianxia mountain, righteous path's morale was boosted to the top, the congratulatory sounds continued endlessly like waves after wave. This time, the opening of the 3 kings' inheritance lasted for more than half a month. Tai Mu Bai changed the power structure of Xianxia mountain by himself, uniting the righteous path and banishing the demonic path, causing the situation to have a violent change. The aged body seemed to manifest the domineering aura of the former clan leader of Tai clan. Demonic path figures were all banished, they were still not resigned and thus stayed at the surroundings of Xianxia mountain and watched as the 3 light pillars became thinner and thinner. After the inheritance closed, Tai Mu Bai held a banquet and invited all righteous path Gu masters. The banquet was held in the outdoors and was spread over a vast area in the middle of the mountain. The Gu masters used mountain rocks as tables and chairs, the aroma of wine and food spread everywhere, and they cheered and laughed. Junior Yihua proposes a toast to Senior. Yihua stood up with a wine cup in his hands and bowed deeply towards Tai Mu Bai who was sitting on the main seat. In the few great clans, Shang clan always had talents appearing in large numbers. I heard Shang Yanfei has already become the clan leader now. He had outstanding talent since young, you are also not bad. Take a seat. Tai Mu Bai said with a bit of recollection. With his seniority, Shang Yanfei was also a junior. With his rank 5 peak stage cultivation, even though Shang Yanfei had astonishing talent, he was still inferior. Yi Hua could only nod his head and slowly sit down, heaving a sigh inwardly. With Tai Mu Bai's arrival, his plan to rule San Cha Mountain was already cut at its root. He was unable to catch up to this expert of the old generation and simply did not have any chance of contending with him. Old clan leader Tai, on behalf of Yi Clan, I congratulate you on coming out of seclusion. Yi Clan's elder Yi Chong had a fiery temperament, but he behaved like an obedient grandson in front of Tai Mu Bai. Gu immortals always stayed in the background and their traces were rarely seen. To most of the people, rank 4 Gu masters were feudal lords while rank 5 Gu masters were the emperors that occupied the peak of the mortal world. Tai Mu Bai coming here was an emperor going on an inspection tour. These feudal lords could only bend their backs and visit the emperor for an audience. Old clan leader Tai, you are the glory of our southern border's righteous path and are still awe-inspiring as ever. With one sentence, you made all the demonic bastards retreat helplessly, making us juniors prostrate in admiration. Unfortunately, that little bastard Fong Zheng escaped pretty fast, escaping San Cha Mountain few days before you came. Wu Shentong said darkly. You are talking about Little Beast King, right? Tai Mu Bai indifferently smiled without a hint of anger. This little kid is outstanding, I heard his accomplishments are rather amazing. He worked hard alone and started from nothing to become a rising star of the demonic path at a rapid speed. He seems impulsive and unreasonable, but actually makes his moves after meticulous planning and is very good at scheming. It was not groundless for the several youths of Tai clan to die by his hands. Tai Mu Bai continued. His words shocked everyone present. As the victim's family, the old Tai clan leader whose dignity was offended was actually praising his enemy in front of everyone. This old clan leader Tai was rumored to have a fiery temperament with extreme abhorrence of evil. How come he seems to be different from the rumors, and instead is so cultured and indifferent to humiliation? Wu Shentong was inwardly surprised and was just about to speak when he met with Tai Mu Bai's gaze. The gaze contained the vicissitude of time and had unfathomable depth, a wisdom that had seen through and experienced all of the mortal world. Wu Shentong immediately felt his schemes had been seen through by this gaze, cold sweat dripped out of his body and he found it difficult to speak. Do you find it strange? Tai Mu Bai looked around and slowly spoke with a smile, why am I, who is called the glory of Tai clan, openly praising the mortal enemy of Tai clan? He, praising one's enemy is increasing the enemy's prestige and diminishing one's morale. But in truth, how could the will of those resolute people be destroyed by these few words? By admiring your enemies, you can find their strong points and warn yourself of your weak points, and treat your enemy more seriously. Don't let your wisdom be deceived by hatred. Tai Ruanan, who was standing behind Tai Mu Bai, shivered as she heard these words. She knew old clan leader Tai Mu Bai was saying this mostly to her. After Tai Mu Bai came out of inheritance, he had been guiding her all the time. He gave her metal path Gu worms and taught her his experiences in using them and also gave her knowledge on the outside world. Don't let your wisdom be deceived by hatred, admire your enemies. Tai Ruanan thought over these words and pondered. Ruanan, what do you think of Fong Zheng? Tai Mu Bai suddenly called her. Yes. Tai Ruanan took a step forward and reported, although I hate him very much, I have no choice but to admit Fong Zheng is very outstanding. He has the courage to take risks and also moves after scheming. Although he is a strength path Gu master, he definitely has a formidable and extraordinary investigative method. This point can be seen from how he was able to intercept us. The path Elder Tai Ba Xiu and I chose was a very hidden path. We were able to deceive everyone else but only Fong Zheng was able to sense it and accurately intercept us. Old clan leader, you secretly arrived at San Cha Mountain and no one knew of it, but only Fong Zheng sensed it and escaped early. Little Beast King might be at the front of the limelight, but he conceals himself very deep and is absolutely not a person to be underestimated. Good analysis. Tai Mu Bai nodded, his eyes revealing his praise. He continued, in this world, there is a thing that is more precious than life. That is glory. Eons ago, Ren Zhu's eldest son Verdant Great Son gave up his life while chasing for glory. Ruo Nan, this Fang Zheng is a mission for you. Arrest him or kill him, wash away your humiliation and make it a glory that belongs to you. Many people call me the glory of Tai Clan, but I will tell you Tai Clan's glory is not just me alone, but you guys, generations of people who stand for what's right. Tai Mu Bai's gaze looked at everyone present when he said this, his voice showing the grandeur of past. Similarly, the glory of righteous path should be upheld by every one of us. Come, drink this cup to shine the glory of righteousness onto the world, let the radiance of this sun dispel the darkness and let the demonic path cease to exist. Dispel the darkness. Let the demonic path cease to exist. All the righteous path Gu masters raised their wine cups and shouted together. Their voices were powerful and spread a long distance, countless demonic paths figures' expressions changed. Damn it, this Tai Mu Bai. The glory of Tai Clan, time has not been able to wash away his brilliance. Really a terrifying character. He is dazzling like the sun, sigh, him coming out of seclusion is the bad luck of our demonic path.